Just how far can Plymouth go this season? That's what we're asking Jaden and Chris, and asking all you Pilgrims watching. Thank you for watching Where Pilgrims Walk. We're, of course, going to be reviewing the latest home park victory in the last minute again, and getting Jaden and Chris's honest views as to how high up the table they think Plymouth will be finishing this season. Welcome to Where Pilgrims Walk. Well, home park is definitely the place to be for late drama this season, almost against Sunderland and, of course, against Blackburn this weekend. Welcome, Jaden and Chris. How are we both? All feeling fine, I hope?
I do love a last-minute winner.
Good. First of all, it's time for myself to eat a little bit of humble pie because Jack says, let's go. Where are all the people that were saying Whittaker should be dropped? Where have they gone? Well, here we are. That was 2 weeks ago, and we humbly apologise for that. Well, certainly I do. Anyway, let's kick it off, though, Chris. What was impressive about that Blackburn performance?
Oh, the entertainment value. Anyone that was going on a Saturday just to watch football, they would have been impressed with that performance. The entertainment value that Rooneys introducing and the way we're attacking football is stunning. I mean, I haven't seen football like it for many a year, and it's no coincidence that we're getting goals in the 90th plus minute. The way that they must be training them and their fitness levels, fantastic. It's really superb to watch.
Yeah, you just keep going and going and going, don't you? We'll talk about Burnley in a second as well, because we haven't, of course. We need to mention that. But Jaden, who's impressing you from a player point of view?
Everyone. In particular, obviously Gibson, mainly Randall. I think he was superb on Saturday. Absolutely fantastic in the midfield, as usual. And just going forward, we look really good. Scoring another couple of goals, and just climbing further up the table.
Is the only disappointing thing, Chris, that it wasn't 4-0 or even 5-0? Some people suggesting. Some of the shooting and some of the target practice was suggested needed by some.
Well, you can see why he's brought in the likes of Andre Gray, because if I'm honest, we could have been 4-5 up and should have been. And probably once they equalised, we thought that's it. You know, another 86-minute goal against us when we've been leading after 15. It's been all Argyle. Missed chances, and shouldn't have been missed chances. We should have been 3 or 4 up. So, yeah, although we scored in the 90th minute, which it was a fully deserved win, it was a game of missed chances. We should have buried them.
Okay. Richard says we should have had 4 goals by us today. Big chances missed, but my goodness, Rooney has got us playing some gorgeous football with Andre Gray, as you've already said, added to the mix after the break too. Get in, you Greens. Jaden, tactically, what is it then that's working for you? How is Rooney making this attractive? Because Plymouth have always been a hard-working side, but you've not been known for football finesse, shall we say, even under Schumacher when, you know, things were a little bit less direct. But what's the Rooney style of football that's got everyone so excited?
Well, I think part of it is obviously the players. You know, the players we've got out wide on the wings, Sissoko, for example, they have that flair and they can play that way going forward. So Rooney's obviously come in, wants to play attacking football, and he's brought in Sissoko, players like that who can obviously play in that way. And it's working at the moment, and we're playing really well.
Right, okay. I've got to ask you, obviously, about the sending off as well. Great win. Will he find himself? Says Al Smith. I mean, neither of you, I'm sure, will mind if your manager shows a little bit of combustion on the touchline, Chris.
It's Wayne Rooney, isn't it? You expect it. You know, the man's a winner, and he wants to win. He's just seen a goal disallowed or scored against our team, which should have been disallowed due to a foul in the process leading up to the goal. So he's just took a boot out of the water bottle, which was on the side of the pitch. It's landed in amongst the Argyle fans. They never took offence to it, but obviously the fourth official did. Called over the referee, and he's probably going to hang his red card in the Louvre now.
He won't have minded one bit, except for missing that goal. All right, Morgan Whittaker then. All right, we've already done a formal apology to him. I mean, okay, it wasn't one of his classics, Jaden, but we've talked about him being lazy here previously, about going missing in games. Is he now back?
I didn't think he was that great, to be honest, on Saturday, and he hasn't been for a while, but he did score the goal. And like we said a couple of weeks ago, he's one of those players you can't drop because he comes up with such important goals. And he's obviously done that again. So it's so difficult to drop him. But yeah, it's a really, really tough one. And I still don't know what the right call is to make. But God knows what Rooney's thinking.
Chris, what's your opinion on Mr. Whittaker? He divides opinion, or has done this season anyway.
He does divide opinion, to be honest with you. He probably hasn't had a great game since January, since Shuey left. And Rooney obviously sees something in him. It's only one or two players who hasn't been dropped this season. That's Lewis Gibson and Morgan Whittaker. And not only have they not been dropped, but they've not been substituted either. So they've played the full 90 minutes for each game. On Saturday, arguably he had a normal game. It was pretty average, you know. He made lots of mistakes, but all of a sudden, left foot is a wand. He hits a 40-yard pass out to Sissoko, out on the wing. Nobody expected it. Their defence didn't expect it. Give him plenty of room to put in the ball for Obafemi to score. And then in the 96th minute, he pops up with an header and gets our winner. So probably everyone's going to say he's had a great game. Well, he did two great things.
Okay. All right, we'll leave that one there. Then international break now coming up. Before we let you go, we'll ask you the question we asked you right from the start. How high can Plymouth go this season? So quite honestly, based on what you've seen so far, Jaden, where are Plymouth going to finish?
I want to say top half. So I'm going to go 9th to 11th, somewhere in that region, I hope.
Okay. Chris, there's people starting to talk of playoffs, you know. Are you in that camp yet?
No, I'm not convinced with that. Okay. To get in that camp, we've got to have a better away form, and hopefully that starts in the next game against Cardiff. Our home form, I said in the last time I spoke regarding making Old Park a fortress, we're getting to that scenario now. But once we start picking up points and we get away from home, we can start talking about something like that. But at the moment, I would certainly take where we are, 14th at the moment.
Okay. All right. Good. And then a quick word on Burnley before we let you go. Huffed and puffed, but better team won, Jaden?
Yeah, definitely. We weren't very good at all, really. There was obviously signs of good football, which we've been showing every game, really. But yeah, definitely the better team won.
Okay. All right. We'll leave it at that then. See you next week when we're also going to look at the Cardiff game, which is, of course, first game back after the international break. Thank you, Jaden. Thank you, Chris. We'll see you on the other side of the international break. Cheers, fellas.
Cheers, Mark.
Cheers, buddy.